Do you want a quicker way to automatically insert sheets or tabs when printing documents? Using imageRUNNER Advanced Desktop, you can set this up at your PC before sending the job, and print as many copies as you need, rather than spending time at the device combining function modes to make insertions while copying, or worse, hand inserting them later. Allow me to demonstrate for you. I'm going to take two documents, a contract and an annual report, and package them together with tabs and separating sheets. I'll drag and drop them onto Print Settings in Desktop's Quick Printing tool. This order is fine, so I'll select OK. And the Canon imageRUNNER Advanced Desktop Editor will open. Note that each document is imported as an individual chapter, and I'm going to identify them by tab sheets that I'll insert. I will name each document so they are easily identifiable. I'll start by renaming the first document. I begin by right-clicking Chapter 1. From the right-click menu, I select Change Chapter Name and rename it Contract. I will do the same for Chapter 2 by renaming it Annual Report. Now, I also want to break the sections of the annual report down into subchapters, which I will organize by inserting sheets of color paper to separate them. At the start of each subchapter, signified by a full-page image, I will right-click on the page, starting with the table of contents, which is after the annual report's cover, and select Add New Chapter. Then, right-clicking on the New Chapter divider, I select Change Chapter Name and enter the new name. After repeating this process for the other subchapters, I'm ready to set up the printing parameters for the document, including the tabs and separating sheets. So I select the Print Settings tab and select Color, Two-sided printing, and here, under Paper Source Settings, in the Sheet for Insertion area, I have to select the checkboxes for both tab paper and sheets, since I'll be inserting both types. Next, I select the Detailed Settings button to specify where the media for the insertions will be coming from. The Sheets setting is for the colored paper I'm using to break down the annual report, and that's in Drawer 2 of my imageRUNNER Advance. The settings in the Tab Paper area are for the tab sheets I'm using to separate the annual report from the contract. I'll have it fed from the bypass, or multi-purpose tray, so I won't change that. The Format drop-down menu refers to the number of cuts, or banks, the tab sheets have along their length. Mine have 2. And I want the chapter name printed on the tab, so I select the checkbox for Print Chapter Name on Tab. Arial is fine for the font, so I won't change it, but I will make the font size 16 point. And use blue for the font color. The alignment selection determines where the text is printed on the tab and in which direction. I'll select the Center Top Tab option. The insertion order sets the order in which to place tabs and sheets when inserting both at the same point in the document file. But that is not my intent for this job, so I can just select OK. Now the preview updates to show both the tab with its text and the sheet at the start of a chapter. In fact, all document insertions are made at the start of a chapter. But what I really want is the contract and annual report separated by the tab paper, and the sections of the annual report split up by the color paper sheets. No problem. Each chapter can have its own settings, so I right-click on the chapter divider for the contract, select Chapter Settings, then select the Print Settings tab. And in the Sheets for Insertion area, select the checkbox for Specify Paper for insertion into selected chapter. Then I select the checkbox next to Do Not Insert Sheets, since I didn't want to use them with the contract. And then select OK. I do the same for Chapter 2, where the annual report starts. But for Chapter 3, one of the sections within the annual report, I want a colored sheet of paper, not a tab sheet, inserted. So after right-clicking on the chapter divider, Chapter Settings, the Print Settings tab, and the checkbox for Specify Paper for insertion into selected chapter, this time I check the box for Do Not Insert Tab Paper. And finally, OK. After repeating these steps for the other sections, chapters 4, 5, and 6, you can see that as I scroll through the preview, the contract and annual report start with tab sheets, and the sections within the annual report will start with separating sheets. If I wanted to, I could now put the finishing touch on this package by going back to Detailed Settings for Insert Sheets and adding a front and back cover. However, I will keep the document as is for this example. Now I'm ready to print my document. Moving forward, anytime I have to print a document with covers, tabs, or inserted sheets, I can set it all up right from my PC using imageRUNNER Advanced Desktop.